segment is called Backstage with World According to Woot. So with this segment, I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you guys meet? How long have you guys been married? You know, kids, dogs, what cities have you lived? Do you guys actually fight like regular people sometimes?
Yeah. No. It's like a fairy tale. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
So first question, how did we meet? It's an interesting question, how we met.
Don't make it too interesting.
I could give you details, but
okay,
so we met in 1995.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. 1995.
Of course, we were 5 years old attending kindergarten together with.
So I was enrolling my children in a private Christian school, and Jim was the bookkeeper. He was not a musician.
I was a musician. You were just not aware of that.
No.
Well, you know, hey, I play an instrument. Technically, that means you're a musician. So, okay.
So he was my kid's basketball coach, and I thought he was cute.
You did?
I did.
You never told me that.
I kind of did. I married you. I feel like you should know that.
I thought that was out of pity.
Anyway, I met Jim as my kid's basketball coach. He was coming out of a divorce. And
go ahead and just spill all the dirt.
I know.
We're going backstage. You know what happens backstage. We're talking about, we're getting down to the nitty gritty of everything.
He had stopped playing music for several years. 8 years.
In bands. Stop playing music in bands.
And then when I met you, we started dating, and he got back into the music scene.
Yeah.
And that's how our world started, actually, as music and musicians.
In the music world.
Yeah.
And we've been married now for 18 years. It'll be 19 in August.
But together.
Yeah, we've been together since 95. So it'll be 26 years.
Okay, so hold on. So when you met in 95, when you're taking your kids in there, you know.
Yeah.
Jim's just playing basketball with kiddos. And
he really is. I thought he was adorable.
And then as soon as you guys meet, like a week later, you're like, hey, this is kind of working.
So let me tell you in the particular school that he actually taught in, the teachers were not allowed to date the parents. I was a parent. He was technically a teacher. So we had to sneak. We snuck for how long?
Is this going to spill it all, or
a couple months?
My wife just said, "What happens backstage stays backstage."
So we snuck dating for a couple months. But obviously, we liked each other a lot and married each other.
And here we are.
We
get along real well because she keeps me in the dungeon when we're not doing the show.
Anyway, so I did not meet Jim Wooten as a musician. I met him as my kid's basketball coach.
Yeah, that's right.
How do I know?
Teasing. So when was the first time you went to one of his shows?
I mean, it must have been a year, maybe a year later.
Was it a year later?
Yeah, it must have been like 2005. You started playing with Shout.
Yes, that's right.
Which was Eagles. Oh, no.
Not Eagles. It was a 60s tribute.
Yeah.
We did all 60s music, like Doors, Moody Blues, Beatles, Rolling Stones, all the music of the 60s.
But you got to know, I was raised with teachers, so music was not anything that I was familiar with.
Yeah, her parents were both teachers.
They were teachers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, when you guys met and you were a teacher at the school, you taught gym, you taught basketball. Were you a good basketball player?
Yeah, I actually played in high school. Played in high school. Was
MVP. You know he was.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have won that, but. I played, probably from second grade all the way through my high school year, and then even in some adult leagues after that, up until about the time I was, what was it? I was probably about 40 when I stopped doing it.
Yeah. And you got injured.
Yeah, I got injured. It's so funny, Whit. I had just joined Led Zeppelin, and I was playing in a league, an adult league on Saturday nights. We were playing at Santa Monica. Do you remember the old place? What was that called? 40 Below, or what was that? What was the name of it?
I think it was 40
Do you remember that in Santa Monica?
Yeah.
You remember that place? We were playing there. It was only our second show. I had a game that happened at like 8 p.m. that night, and then I had to be at the venue at 11 to load in with Led Zeppelin. Well, in the last seconds of the game, the guy was going after the ball, and he poked me in the eye and tore my eyelid. I had to go into
and have a plastic surgeon brought in to sew his eyelid back together.
Yes. It was crazy.
Did you make it to the show?
So, he missed
I missed it, man.
Missed it.
I missed my second show with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
So that was the end of my basketball career.
So Led Zeppelin was born.
Yes,
that was our second life.
Yeah.
And do you guys have kids? I know you guys have dogs. You have you have a few puppies.
We have dogs.
Yes.
So we have 3 children. So when I met Jim, he had a 3-year-old, and I had a 6, 7-year-old. And then we proceeded to raise all of our children together and dogs.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We couldn't have come from more diverse backgrounds.
Yeah.
I mean, her parents were so strict.
Super strict.
They'd let them watch, TV like a half hour a night.
No, I never watched TV before 5 p.m. at night.
Well, that's new to me.
Yeah.
But you only got to watch a half hour.
Half hour a day.
And
half hour a day.
I mean, her whole weekend was consumed with doing chores.
Chores.
So I like to put it this way. She was raised by the Bradys. I was raised by the Bundys. I never made my bed once in my life, man.
And there was not one time that our family did not sit down for a full-blown meal because, like I said earlier,
tell her the process.
I was raised by teachers. My mom was a home economics teacher. So everything was food, sewing, home care. My dad was a teacher. So I told Jim, I said, I don't know if there's one day that I've ever sat down where we didn't have dinner as a family at the table. And Jim said
6 o'clock every night.
Every night. 6 o'clock. And Jim said, I don't know if there's one day that I can say we did have dinner at the table.
Not even once. I can't ever remember having dinner at the table with my whole family one time in my life. It never happened. My mom would make dinner. We'd all go and,
take their dinner and take it to the room. That was unheard of in my life.
So how did this work out when you guys get together and you guys are completely opposites? How did that happen?
Well, now she started to see the light and she's doing everything my way.
Should I agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think so. We got Mr. Gary Grantham hanging out with us tonight. The 14 Below is the club. Hey, my beautiful tribute jackasses.
How are you doing, big?
I love the fact that
tribute jackass.
Or that.
Love it. Jim grew up more like me. TV trays. Yes.
Yeah.
I never. It was every night in my life was a formal dinner. It was a formal dinner. Man. I never agreed to any kind of dinner arrangements because I knew that I had to be at my dinner table at 6 p.m.
Well, isn't it interesting though? This is interesting. Both of my parents were musicians. Both of Gig's parents were musicians. And what we would do, I mean, my mom would make dinner, we'd grab it. We'd go into the living room and watch Carol Burnett.
We weren't allowed to have food in our living room.
Sonny and Cher show, that kind of thing.
Are you allowed to have food in the living room now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
My mom's
90% of the time, that's where we have dinner.
We actually have food in our bed, and that was unheard of in my home.
But she's realizing how much she missed over all those years.
I did miss it. I did miss it. I've laxed off a little bit. So we have 3 children now, and they will still say that I'm a little strict. I'm not very strict, but I'm not as strict as my mom.
Not at all.
No. I'm still.
I wouldn't be sitting here if she was.
I've let off a little bit.